He's now removing his speech from his pocket. So he's putting it into his pocket. It's going to be NickDearden. Thank you so much for coming down, Jeremy, and thank you everybody who's come out here today. This is a really fantastic crowd for something that a few people here, and I'll give a check especially to Tim, who's done a fantastic job of working away this week with very little help from me to bring people out and put people together today. And I think that is a real sign of concern around this new generation of trade agreements that are effectively handing power to corporations and removing power from us and our control over our public services, our control over our environment, over our food safety standards. CETA is something we haven't talked enough about, the Canada-EU trade deal. And we know that today, somebody from this department that we're standing in front of will be in Brussels and will say that they are perfectly happy for the CETA agreement to go forward with an ISDS mechanism in it, with a corporate tribunal that will allow Canadian multinational corporations to sue our government for bringing in legislation that we tell them to protect our public services, to protect our environment, and to create better, healthier food systems. We know that the British government has been one of the worst governments in Europe when it comes to promoting these corporate tribunals. While we expect today that the German and the French government will fight a little bit against these corporate tribunals, the British government will not. It is completely rolled over and it completely accepts them. But that doesn't mean there's no hope. We are the hope, but also the amazing campaigning that's been done in Germany, in France, starting now in Poland, in Scandinavia. I've come down today with a friend from Attack Norway, where they're doing fantastic campaigning against TTIP and against TISA, the Trade in Services Agreement, another one of these horrendous corporate power grabs. So great campaigning's been done, and as a result of that campaigning, we believe the German government and the French government will today make a fuss about ISDS. Whether they will get it out, we don't know. The next stage after today is that essentially the treaty is finalised. It then has to go to the European Parliament. The European Parliament, the only democratic bit of the European Union project, will have no right to amend this treaty. MEPs have not yet even seen the text. We've only seen the text because it's been leaked. There has been no formal mechanism to give us the right to see this text. So our government is going to Brussels today to agree to something which we haven't even got the right to see. The European Parliament has no right to amend this text. The treaty is likely to come into force before it even goes before the British Parliament, and the British Parliament are unlikely to even debate it, let alone have the right to amend it, unless we make an incredible fuss about this. This is how, this is how these trade agreements that are going to have such sweeping powers over our lives, on our world and our society and our economy are being agreed behind closed doors with almost no power from the people to our supposedly accountable representatives. And indeed, yesterday, when we called on, with colleagues across Europe, called on the European Commission to give us a European Citizens Initiative, which would allow us to petition the European Commission on this, to say you need to review this and to give us a hearing in Parliament. The European Commission said no, we will not even give you the right to petition us on this. And we know that they won't give us the right to petition on this because if people really knew what they were negotiating, there's no way on earth that they would accept it. Well, with or without the right to petition, we're going to put a stop to this new generation of trade agreements. With or without the right to amend it in Parliament, we will put a stop to CETA, to TTIP, and to TISA. And the one bit of good news I've got, it's not just that the movement is growing unbelievably fast in Britain and in Europe, but in the United States of America, Congress has stopped the Obama taking the authority he needs to negotiate this treaty. This is very important. It is impossible to see Obama going back and forth to Congress with amendments and clauses and so on being disputed by both Democrats and Republicans. It's impossible to see how it will get in if they continue to refuse him that power. So when Lord Livingston, the Trade Minister, comes to us and says, you're all a load of anti-Americans, that's absolutely rubbish, because the campaign in America has been even stronger than the campaign in Europe has been, and we're working with our friends and colleagues and comrades in America to make sure, for the sakes of both of our societies, these treaties never enter into law. These treaties are about rewriting the Constitution in favour of capital, irreversibly and fundamentally. And so it really is the battle of our time. And I'm really, really happy that on a Friday afternoon, at a few days' notice, because of some work that some amazing people here have done, you all come out and show your support for this, and we will go on. This is just the beginning. The next step is the 11th of October. I think there was a meeting last night, many of you were at, where we decided that we will be protesting and we will be speaking in this very area on the 11th of October, and we've got all sorts of fun activities for people to engage in before then. Parliament Square, 11th of October, and the time is
2 p.m.
2 p.m. 2 p.m. Parliament Square, 11th of October. You must be there, the latest phase of this amazing campaign which has brought so many different people together. Thank you so much for coming out and showing your support for this. Really amazing friendships I've made with so many people here in the last few weeks, and it will go on and we will win. Thank you.